us just a little bit about your unique story in a very, very short amount of time, maybe like a minute if you can. Just summarize, why are you here today?
I'm here today because I've been searching for my father for over 50 years. And the only information I've ever had was my birth certificate listing my mother and my father on there.
And so you tell us a little bit more about not knowing who your father was or is.
Well, when I first began my journey to search for my biological father, I began searching records, military records, because he was in the military at the time, searching census records, searching death records, and I could not come up with any conclusive evidence of who my father was. I also searched church records, but to no avail.
And so what's going on today? Why are you here now? What's going to happen?
Well, recently I decided to do Y chromosome DNA testing, and I had previously done autosomal testing, and I thought that through this means I might be able to make a connection.
How are you feeling right now? It's about to happen, and you're going to get an answer that you've been searching for a really long time.
Well, I'm certainly excited about the prospect of finally being able to make a connection to my other family members, if you will, and looking forward specifically to find my great-grandparents and being able to trace my immigrant ancestor.
Okay, last question. What does it mean to you to finally find the answer to this lifelong question?
I've had a lot of time to ponder that. It is an emotional experience because I will now be able to be made whole. I've done research on my maternal family lines, but there has always been, as Alex Haley said, a searching, bone barrel deep to find where I came from and who I am.
All right. All right. It's been a quick day, huh?
Absolutely.
I'm glad that we started our conversation. Well, I'll just start you off with, you are not a Chaco, you are a Perkins.
A Perkins?
Yes. And I know you believe the family, had no ties to California. They're all in California. They came from Indiana over to California. So let me show you a little bit. Your biological father's name is James E. Perkins. And I did find a few documents. Did not yet find a photo of him. We're still going to look for that. But I found a few documents. So here you can read a little bit about him. His registration cards, I like these because the second page will give you some more information. So his father's name is Roland Perkins. So the information, I know you wanted the great-grandparents, and I got tons of stuff on them. So you're set. So it gives his birthday is February 24th. So I thought that was ironic. With your birthday being Valentine's Day, very close, and 1920, which is very close to your mother's birth. They're very close in age, which,
yes.
Right. So, okay. And then I saved all these documents for you. So you have them to keep, but I'm just putting it here to make it easy to see. Now, I thought you would like this. The back side of those forms gives a little bit of data. I don't know if you can see this, but it shows
the draft registration.
The draft registration. So he was only 5'6", which I find interesting because you're quite tall. 140 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. So where you didn't know, you thought you're Italian, there you go. A ruddy complexion and no physical marks, no tattoos, no scars, that kind of thing. But this was interesting. So he said he answered it to the best of his knowledge. And there it is. So you've got this for you to keep. It's all in your records. I'm going to go back to the tree a little bit. So what we did find is that you do have a half sister, and as far as I know, she's alive. I believe she's in Colorado right now, and her name is Perkins, but she was married to a Donnelly. She's no longer married, but I have all her contact information to give you. So,
Fantastic.
yes, so we can do that. And she has a daughter whose name is, and I did get some pictures. So this is your niece.
Wow.
You have someone who, possibly looks like you here, which is really, I know that's often a difficult part. I did not find pictures of her mom yet, but I know that you are very interested in going back. So I'm going to take you a generation back. I do believe that there is another sibling because I found a divorce record where it did say 2 children, but I have not yet found those records. And we have our research team working on that. So hopefully we'll get some information. It's only been a day in the weekend. So going back here, so his parents are Roland Perkins and Fidela Coulter. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about how we came to this conclusion. So what we did is we take your DNA and all your DNA matches, and then we make little trees, and then we start connecting all the trees to find common ancestors. We call them MERCAs, or most recent common ancestor. And so that's what we ended up finding. So what I did, this is called Watto. It's a tool from DNA Painter. And in here, I can input your DNA matches and how they all line up. And this will tell me the most likely place where you fall in this family. Now, you had really good matches. They were so good that I waited half a day and made sure that there weren't any double relationships because they were really good. There was some common last names, but I think that is very common in small communities. I did not find any overlap. That's why I asked you if you had done a dead match test. So here you can see these in the tan, and this is all for you to keep. I have it. In the tan, those are all your DNA matches. And then I linked how they all connect. And then the blue, the program puts your name into there in certain circumstances. So you can see there's no chance of you being I'm sorry, it's hard to see from this angle, but it says that there's no chance of you, being the sibling down here. But it does give you a 99% chance, which is pretty darn good for being James' son, who is the half sibling that I just spoke of. So that's how that is in there. It gives you a 1% chance of being a full child, which we know you're not because of our genetic genealogy skills and our basic genealogy skills. We do know that you do not match their mother's side. I did check that, and you don't match your mother's side. I just wanted to cross all the T's and dot all the I's here. So that is sort of, we use this tool to, after we know where you are, it just is a second look, but it does take a lot of common knowledge to get that far. Okay, so going back to your grandparents, Roland and Fidelia, I found DNA matches on each of their lines. So more evidence. So his brothers, you have relatives and their kids. So you've got cousins all over the place. They're mapped here, and we use symbols at DNAngels. And so it'll have our DNAngel symbol, and the green ones say that there is a DNA connection there. The purple ones, like this down here, are the ones that you actually have a DNA match to. So this is in your tree to keep. So you can have this, it'll always be here, and we'll always be here for questions. But that kind of the visual helps. Then if you go back to your grandmother's side, the same thing. I found connections on that Coulter side too.
Wow.
So you're a Perkins and a Coulter. So they all seem to be in the LA area, coming from the Chicago area. So I have a lot of records back there. But here's what I think you'll really like, because I know this is what you're interested in. I did find DNA matches to all of your great-grandparents also, and they are linked in the tree. So the last, John Perkins and Rachel Miller are your great-grandparents, and look at this. So we have their family photo.
Oh my goodness. That is amazing.
Yes. So at this time, we're not exactly sure who's who. We can tell the parents, obviously, But that is something that we can do some more research, and when you reach out to relatives, we'll be able to find that. But that is a treasure right there. And we have also your grandfather, Roland. I have a picture of him. So I do. How weird is it to see like your picture of your grandfather? Someone who looks like you who's not your child,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Similarities are there.
I definitely think there's similarities there. Yeah, when I saw that yesterday, especially like the eyes and mouth. Yeah. And I've got another picture of John Perkins, your great-grandfather again. And he's a little bit older here, but I thought that was a really interesting photo. It's so unusual to get pictures this old, and we hit the jackpot. So there's some more out there for us to go explore.
You certainly did hit the jackpot.
So we have a little bit more information. I have the information here of the current contacts of your half-sister and your half-niece. And then I wanted to show you a little bit about our process. I talked about the Watto and how we go back. Our key here was your half-sister's matches. So she has a very unique name. Let me get back to that. So her middle name is. So when I get a clue like that, that is great. So
makes her stand out.
It does.
Because of a uniqueness.
It does. So, and I actually found a 1950 census record here. These, you can find these all. And if you look, I'll try to blow it up. So you can see James and Betty. And so same age, same place, same names. That is golden. This is 1950. I did not find any other children. If you pull reports, we use something called Been Verified and other reports that DNAngels has a research team, and they've been looking. And there are a lot of other connections because the family moved later in life. They all kind of retired to Florida, like many of us do. So it looks like there's a lot of other people living next to him with the same last names, which I believe are nieces and nephews, cousins, that type of thing. I'm not sure if they're siblings because I did not find any other birth records yet. California has pretty decent records, as you can see here. This is birth record, and you can see her name, her date of birth, and also it gives a mother's maiden name, which was what I double checked to make sure you're not related to them, and the connections there. So all of that is what leads us. There's many more documents in here for you, but that is the information, quick and dirty, to get you here. So I will let you have questions, and then I'll let you digest this over the next few days, and we'll go through more. Did you have any other questions for us? How we got to this, or?
Well, obviously, you have the right kinds of tools that I didn't have.
Yes.
To make these connections.
And we do it all day long.
And this is just amazing. I'm blown away by the amount of information you've been so quickly able to connect. And obviously, I look forward to being able to connect with my half.
Yes, there are many records of the Perkins family, so they have been in the U.S. for a long time. So you've got a lot of fun ahead of you.
Right? It looks like that.
Yeah. So I thought this picture was really neat. It's so difficult to find that kind of picture. But all right.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Certainly, truly, angel.
Oh, thank you.
From my standpoint, it's a wonderful blessing, not only for me but for my posterity, to have this link.
And your grandkids will have this forever, which is amazing.
Because my kids have asked many times, who is our grandfather? Mm-hmm. And where did we come from? Mm-hmm. So this changes everything.
It does, and I'm hoping now that you have a half-sister that she'll be able to provide you what he was like and other pictures of how he
Right.
is. So,
And
yeah.
hopefully there's a military record.
Yes, there
On my father.
there are some military records. I couldn't get everything into here because I really wanted to
Sure.
verify the relationship. For,
Right.
I triple checked it, but your DNA matches are solid. They're really good. So yes, I'm
I
so
feel
glad.
very fortunate and blessed because of that.
Well, I'm glad that we could help you.
So what do you think of all that?
Oh, again, I am just overwhelmed by the thoroughness of the investigation and the possibilities that now have opened up to me.
Do you feel like you're whole now?
Absolutely. Yeah. I was concerned early in childhood about the abandonment of my father, leaving my mother to raise me. But I'm sure there were circumstances that caused that to come about. And now I don't have any bad feelings towards my father because we all experience difficulties in life that change our course and direction. And it's only through doing family research that we can learn who we are, where we came from, and why we're here. And it has been a blessing to do that. My wife was the one that dragged me to a genealogy class and got me started doing genealogy years ago. And my life has been blessed through my mother and through my wife to constantly be there as support and to help. And now I do feel whole. I feel complete, which I hadn't before.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Aw. But yeah, I will be here. And you can text me or on Facebook. And we keep a lot of the information. I will put all of this that we talked about today into our Facebook chat. That way, any one of the DNA Angels has access to help you at any time. So if you get another match coming up, just pop in there and ask a question. We're going to always be there for you. So that's our.
Thank you.
We don't find things and leave you. It's a whole organization where we have support all the way, and we can get you hooked up with. We have some support groups because you just took in a lot. So it might be nice to talk to some other people in your situation. So I will put all that in here and have all that information for you. So I'm so glad that we can help you.
So much.
Yes, it's been fun.